Hello and welcome to this tutorial. For today's video, I'm just going to go over the basics of pen tooling and vectoring. And when it comes to pen tooling, to be exact, I'm going to go over sketching. And I'm not going to go too far into it. I'm not going to go in like too extreme detail because it's going to take too long. But I'm just going to go over the basics. So like we're going to practice by going over her face, and we could add lips and maybe her hair if we have time. Um, So first, what you're gonna need to know are your settings. So make sure you have pen tool selected, and if you have, make sure you have shape selected. If you have path selected, it's like the first video that we went over. It's just gonna make a path like this, and then if you hold, obviously, it's gonna curve it. So, and then you can right click and fill or stroke, whatever. We do not want that though. What we want is shape, and this is gonna help with sketching. So make sure you have shape selected, and then up here you have fill, and then this is whatever color it's gonna be. So whatever color your vector is gonna be, like your shape. So I just have blue selected because you can change it later and it stands out. So choose whatever you want. I have blue selected, and make sure you have no stroke. So click on stroke and make sure, for now, that you pick the one with the red line through it. And then for safety measures, you can just turn down the stroke all the way anyways. So to get started, we're just going to, I'm going to actually zoom in so that it's more precise. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to click, we're going to outline her face first. So we're just going to click up here and make your first point, and then make another point, and then click and drag. Try to match her head. And then just keep doing this along the outline of her face. Then you might encounter a problem where right now you can kind of see I'm trying to move it and it doesn't really want to go around. So to fix this problem, you can see these two little balls right here on the edge of your point, or like outside of your anchor. If you hold Alt and you hover over them, you'll see your cursor will change to a triangle. Now you can move these, and if you move them to here, it kind of changes the way your line gets started. And now you can play around with it, try to get it down. And then mess with that, and there you go. As you can see, that's too much, so you might want to bring it in a bit. And there you go, there's another example, so just hold Alt, bring it in. And this is a very, not slow process, but you can see how it becomes tedious. And it's good to practice if you want to practice vectoring and using pen tool. You can actually trace just silhouettes, and that's also a really good way to practice. So now, basically done. I'm gonna lower my opacity so I can see. And then I'm gonna come in here, kind of just do a rough part where her hair is. Alright, so now if we raise the opacity, and then if you double click this box right here, you can change the color. So let's say we want like a skin color. There you can see, let's zoom out. And there's your basic outline of her face. So now we can zoom in here. You can do her lips if we want. Let's, oh, I'm lowering the wrong opacity. So now we can do our lips if we want, and again, select pen tool. You can choose, make the fill whatever you want. So I'll just, oh, I guess I have to make a new layer. So now if we do our lips, and you can see right there, there's a really good example how it it follows this line and curves up. We don't want that. So we're gonna hold Alt and then move it over here. Actually, I'm gonna redo that. So now if we change this to, I'm not sure why this changed to pink. Raise the opacity on that. Actually, we're gonna hide that for now. And we're gonna hide this. Now if you look, again it's a very rough like estimate. Right now I'm just going through this quickly. But you get the idea. Then you can do her hair. Then for the hair it's a bit different because you kind of want to make it in streaks. So for example, you have this, maybe you want this to be like brown. And then there's like more streaks, so you can bring them up here. Maybe you want this to be light brown or something. Then you can just keep adding onto her hair, like so. And then maybe we want this to be a different brown. So yeah, as you can see, you kind of just keep changing it to mix it up. Because it's a vector, it's not like real. So as you can see, if I would continue, you would keep adding hair and then you get that kind of flow. But this is just the basics. That's how you vector, and then you can also come in here and do stuff like this. If we want like shadows, for example. Maybe we'll want that. We'll change this to like a light gray. If you look, let's move it up so it shows. Maybe you'll want to change the opacity. Now you're kind of giving it a highlight, or a shadow, so you can kind of tell what's there. Because remember, this is all flat, so you don't really have any judgment of what's there exactly. And then if we make this, it's just like the nose part. Now we have that. Let's enable everything again. You can kind of see how it comes together like that. If we change this to like, it was a darker. There you go. You can kind of see how it comes together. Like obviously this is very simple, but here, let's move this up here. You can see. Obviously you would want to go a lot more into detail. Like over here, you might want to, for example, for the ear, you would want to start showing that. So I want to come up here. and that's more of a dark here. Just show that, and then maybe you want to show the ears some more. So you're gonna come up here. And there you go. And then maybe you want to make that like lighter since it's barely a highlight. And you can just kind of see how it comes together. You would just have to, it just takes a lot of work. It's very tedious, but that's essentially how you sketch. Then like obviously you could bring it up here. And then you can do this part of the ear. Maybe lower it a bit. Change the color. It's a bit dark. Actually, no, keep the color. And then you would add the shadow back here. Then change the color a bit. Maybe lower the opacity. Pen tool this shadow in here because it's pretty dark. And you can kind of see, so if we zoom out now, you can see how it comes together. Maybe I'd want to change, I want to change this because that's not really a skin color. But you can kind of tell that's the basics of how you sketch. You just want to kind of outline, go piece by piece. You want to make sure you use shadows for certain parts. Like here, for example, what is that? That's this. So for certain parts, for like the shadows on the face, you want to lower the opacity. Just remember that. And that's pretty much it. That's how you sketch and vector a draw or make a vector drawing. So I hope this was somewhat useful. Vectoring is pretty simple and it actually is kind of fun. Like as you can see, I kind of got like, I didn't get addicted, but I just kept going. So if you keep working on it, vectoring can be really fun and something that is enjoyable in Photoshop. So it's not too bad either. It just takes practice really, and then you can make some pretty good looking vector drawings. It's not too hard to do, so I hope this is useful, and thanks for watching.